in July, and it's supposed to end January 2026. But with the pace at which we are moving at, we are hoping that we can start receiving grain in April, May, this season. Yes, we'll start storage, while we do the final installations. And I'm glad to tell you that we have also selected Gokwe South. We are going to be putting the same infrastructure at Gokwe South. We have already handed over the site to the contractor last month in December.
So many years after the Western countries imposed the illegal sanctions, the agricultural ecosystem was affected. But post-2017, we initially started having a committee on the importation of grain. Then after the President, Dr. Idi Mnangagwa, assumed the office, we moved from an importing country in terms of our cereals and many other types of food to food security sufficiency. With now having a population of 10,600 dams across the country, part of the resilience building mechanism in order to support agriculture has been put in place. Before 2017, we had less than 10,000 tractors in Zimbabwe. But under the leadership of President Idi Mnangagwa, through the Belarusian facility, the banking, finance and mechanization programs within the country, many other new companies in terms of mechanization have invested in Zimbabwe. And as we journey towards the mechanization of agricultural facilities, we've achieved food security. The Belarusian tractor facility, which started in earnest, is now working towards the establishment of an agricultural mechanization, tractor production and assembling plant in Zimbabwe. Not only that, many other institutions, which also include CASE, they've put in place a lot of investment. But as we all know that plants do not need rainfall, but they need water in order to grow. The irrigation investment facility, which His Excellency the President officially opened last year, has ensured that a lot of lines of credit and investment facilities in order to capacitate agriculture in terms of irrigation, with a clear target of 200 hectares in terms of irrigation facility as a minimum for each and every district as a target. For His Excellency the President is directed that what gets measured gets done. But the ecosystem of agriculture also includes the resource mobilization that will take place in terms of several chemicals, ZFC facility, and also other complex industrial sites in Manicaland province, in order to ensure that we cut down in terms of the cost of production, in terms of our food, in terms of the output, in terms of agriculture. For more than 50% of agricultural costs is the cost coming from fertilizer. So part of the resilience building mechanism also includes the capacitation of fertilizer manufacturing companies. That is currently taking place. Investment in the fertilizer industry the conversion of coal to fertilizer, research facilities that have been put in place and resourced in order to ensure that we've got fertilizer production security in our country. But one of the biggest challenges that our country has faced before has been the problem and the challenge of post-harvest losses in terms of storage facilities. But under the leadership of President Idi Mnangagwa, the decentralization of silos across all districts with the Kwekwe silos that are almost complete and will be in a position to store 56,000 metric tons per annum is a welcome development in order to achieve food security and also in order to deal with post-harvest losses in terms of grain. Food security we have achieved. Now we're working on nutrition security, which we have achieved in a number of ways, but which we seek to cement in order to create a sustainable ecosystem that is going to ensure that in the case of drought, we're in a position to feed our nation. But all these measures that His Excellency the President has put in place are going to ensure that we are going to propel our agricultural sector. For what defines the security of a nation in terms of parameters is not only in terms of artillery, but it is also in terms of the capacity to grow our own food and the capacity to feed our people. And this in terms of territorial integrity and national security has been achieved because of the resilience building mechanisms. Yes, we've faced a challenge in terms of drought, the drought that is environmentally induced. For there are three major issues that can create drought. The most deadly one is the environmentally induced drought, which we have faced as a country, but where we've emerged stronger. In that the President directed Treasury and the Ministry of Social Welfare to feed each and every citizen of our country, thereby ensuring that apana munhu kana nzvimbo inofanira kuita nzara. That we've dealt with. But as part of a practical strategy in terms of national strategic intent, we also produced in the year 2024 more than 500,000 metric tons of wheat, which is a clear signal in terms of our capacity as a people, in terms of our capacity as a country, in order for us to be able to feed our population. The entirety of granite side in Southerton and part of the industrial sites here in Kwekwe and Midlands province were more agro-based. But now with the emergence and with the capacity that we have, there is a resuscitation of agro-based industrial sites. The second challenge which our country had faced outside the sanctions, which are illegal, had been the policy intervention in terms of a policy-induced drought. But now coming with the leadership of the President, Dr. Idi Mnangagwa, we now have climate-proof agriculture, which is the Pumbudza Intwasa program, which is well calculated in order to achieve household food security. And the capacitation of the agriculture information management system through the resourcing of Vanam Domain, the agri-tax officers, in order to train the farmers in the countryside, in order to train and capacitate and offer advisory services, is part of the resilience building mechanism in order for us to be able to achieve food security. So past 2017, we have emerged much stronger with processes, with practical, intelligent systems such as the Agriculture Information Management System, which within the context of its modules is the Livestock Information Management System, the Water Information Management System, the Inputs Information Management System, and the output side. And together, if we continue to work together, now with the silos that have been decentralized, we will be in a position to continuously achieve food security for our population.